Hi, I'm Lisa from Teach Mom Learn, and today I'm going to tell you the truth about parenting a one-year-old. Everyone always talks about what it's like to parent a baby with the wake-ups and the crying and the snuggles and all of the wonderful, chaotic things about that phase of life. No one ever really talks about what it's like to parent a one-year-old, and most of the time you don't know what it's like until you actually get there. The truth about parenting a one-year-old is that it is crazy and hilarious and occasionally painful. And you'll never stop being amazed about all the wonderful things that they're learning all the time. Here are 10 truths about parenting a one-year-old to help you get ready for this very exciting phase of life. Parenting truth number 1 is that your food will never be just yours. Once your baby turns 1, they're not really going to care about what's on their tray when you have something more interesting on your plate. Even if you have the exact same mac and cheese on your plate that they have in their bowl, yours is somehow much more appealing. Ray is currently in a phase where she takes a couple of bites of her own food, then she demands to get out of her high chair, and then she wants to be up in my lap eating off my plates. I've found that it makes a lot more sense to load up my plate ahead of time so I don't have to get up and get seconds. If you want to make dinner time a little bit easier, just scoop about a quarter serving extra onto your plate to save you the trip back to the kitchen. Even though it's not the best manners, teaching them that can come later. Right now it's just exciting that your child is so interested in trying new foods and you want to capitalize on that.
You want some of Mommy's food?
Parenting truth number 2 is that one-year-olds are really intentionally funny. So remember how you'd make up games with your baby and you'd play peekaboo and hide and seek and things like that, and you'd listen to their little giggles? Your one-year-old understands how those games work, and so they want to initiate, play with you, and laugh with you. And it is so great to see. Ray's new thing is hiding behind walls and popping out to surprise us like a game of peekaboo, and we love it. They love teaching you their little games, and laughing and playing with them is so much fun. Once they've taught you their games, they'll demand them from you, which is really fun to see too. We started making little animals play peekaboo inside the flap of Ray's tent, and now she insists on that all the time. Parenting truth number 3 was a hard one for me to accept. When your baby turns 1, they don't need you as much as they used to. They're starting to engage in independent play, and developmentally, that's extremely important for them. As much as I want to be involved in every single thing Ray does, I have to learn to give her her independence. There's a couple of ways to go about this. You could parallel play with other toys in their playroom. You could bring a book and do something to entertain yourself. Or you could just hang out and watch. When they're ready, they'll invite you into their little games with them. Parenting truth number 4 is that the way that your child plays will change almost every single day. If you buy your child a new toy and they don't know how to use it right away, give it a week. Demonstrate for them and they'll pick it up really fast. Sometimes they like to play with things in their own way. Ray has one of those stacking ring toys, and for the longest time all she wanted to do was throw the rings around. Now she stacks them by size. It's really cool to watch their development happen over time and to learn new ways to play with the toys with them. As your child begins to develop a better understanding of how to play with their toys, you can kind of up the ante with them and make things more complicated. For example, we have those stacking cups for Ray. She used to throw them, then she started stacking them. Now I hide objects underneath them and move them around and make her guess where it is. It's a great way to develop object permanence, and it's really fun to watch her get it right.
There you go. Good girl.
Woo, good job.
Parenting truth number 5 is that their eating is super variable. Toddler eating habits are super variable both in amount and in choices. One day your child might love a food and the next day they won't touch it. Or your child will eat so much one day and then barely a cracker and a yogurt the next day. Just roll with it. Your toddler knows their body well and they understand when they're hungry and when they're not. Listen to their cues because trust me, when they want to eat, they will let you know. Parenting truth number 6 is that one-year-olds are fearless. If you've ever seen Inside Out, you might remember the scene where Riley is running around with her little wagon and she sees a lamp cord and stops and gently steps over it. That doesn't happen in real life. Your toddler is going to climb, throw things, and test the limits of their little bodies as often as they can. It is terrifying to watch as a parent, and so being aware of that is very important. You can't take your eyes off them for even a second because you never know what they're going to get into. If you do have to leave them alone, make sure that it's in a gated and completely child-proof space. truth number 7 is that your 1-year-old actually communicates really well. Even if you can't fully understand them yet and they've only mastered a few sounds, they will find ways to make sure that you understand what they're saying. Your child will use whatever verbal and nonverbal language they have to get their meaning across. You'll learn to understand their language better every day, and they'll be so proud of you for knowing what they mean. Plus, their receptive language is exploding right now too, so believe it or not, they understand the majority of what you're saying. As parents, we have to be super careful to tailor our language and make it child appropriate.
You want the dandelion?
Parenting truth number 8 is that your 1-year-old will hide everything. And the things that they choose to hide are often the things that you need the most right when you're going to head out the door and you're already late to work. I found the baby monitor and Ray's sneakers in so many random places in our house, and you will never guess the places that you'll find pacifiers. Once you figure out some of their hiding places, it'll turn into a game for them and they'll want to hide everything even more. And be super aware when they get quiet. Usually when a toddler's quiet, it means that they're up to something. Parenting truth number 9 is that your 1-year-old is ridiculously strong and you're probably going to get injured. When I was pregnant, I was getting my nails done and my manicurist told me all about how her 2-year-old daughter left the bruises all over her legs and arms. I remember thinking that she must have been an anomaly, but that is not the case. I'm personally constantly covered in bruises because trying to change a 1-year-old is like wrestling a bear. On a daily basis, whether you're playing with your toddler, changing them, or just trying to move them from place to place, you're going to get kicked, hit, head-butted, or whatever else they feel like doing to express their frustration. And sometimes you get head-butted because they're happy and excited too. They just don't know their own strength yet. One time I was distracted checking my phone in the playroom and I heard the crack before I felt it because Ray threw her favorite book right at my face and I wasn't looking, so it hit me. The good news is the older your child gets, the better your reflexes will be. Parenting truth number 9 is that your 1-year-old is going to want to be your biggest helper. They want to be everywhere you are, and they want to help with everything you're doing. Ray loves to help vacuum. She loves to help my husband build the shed in the backyard. She just wants to be a part of everything. My mom watches Ray for me, and my dad even taught her how to make his coffee, and she takes this job very seriously. When your 1-year-old is able to help you, they feel so much pride in themselves. So one thing you can do is find little ways for them to help out around the house. Ask them to bring you something or give them a chore to do. They will be so proud of themselves when they get to help. I hope these parenting truths give you a little bit more insight in what it's like to actually parent a 1-year-old. And please drop your questions and your parenting experiences in the comments below. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and check out teachmomlearn.com for my blog. See you next week.